won that game. Sixers have struggled in the second half of games early on this season. Let's see whether or not they can put 4 quarters together.
And we are running tonight here in the first quarter. Saric has Favors. Hayward against Covington. Gordon Hayward came in and scored 28, went to the line 14 times, made all of his free throws.
Perfect from the line, missed 11 shots from the field, but more importantly, talked about having his legs under him.
He's shooting just 17%, but he hits his first shot, and that is Gobert going against Joel Embiid. Gobert, that was Gobert, promptly leaves him feeling rejected. Rodriguez setting up Henderson. It is for 3. All cotton for Gerald Henderson. Compliments here in the second of back-to-back games and squeeze out their first win of the year. Covington.
The basketball early on, 19%. Rocco at 17.
Rodriguez with Gobert looming, the good shot blocker. Okafor unafraid, gets it done. Joe Ingles, the native of Australia, is in the game for the first time. Rodriguez very aggressive here in the early going. T.J. McConnell, Nick Stauskas. Gobert running into Okafor and turn it over more. Your son Ilyasova, his third game as a Sixer, number 7 on the floor for the first time. He's really played well in the previous. Number 41, Trey Lyles, the second-year big man from Kentucky for the first time.
Who says it's become a guards league? Mark, there's still some big guys out there hanging on.
Your son Ilyasova.
Fast break points right now, 6-1 in favor of the Jazz.
Score the basket. 2 here for the Sixers. Ilyasova, high degree of difficulty, no problem for Rodney Hood, dipping in and stroking 2.
A yellow jacket or a rambling wreck or whatever mascot you choose to prefer.
Nick Stauskas, after a pretty move, buried. Ingles working it with Favors. NBA. Now he deals with Okafor, who could be a fistful, and Jahlil Okafor has his way.
Jahlil using that width as well. Favors having to come across the body to block that, unable to do so.
Okafor's second bucket, he's got 5. Hood again. Nearly identical to what he just did.
And you can see why he was so huge and integral in their win against the Knicks yesterday. 12 points in the fourth quarter.
Hollis Thompson. Good defense here by the Jazz. Nice look, Stauskas for Okafor. The contact was there. The whistles were silent, but Nick rushed it up the floor either. They play at their tempo. 3 of the way from Lyles, and the 6 we say.
Spent some time before leaving Duke at Mississippi State. That was his first choice because his dad went there.
Embiid facing the double team, and finally, persistence overcomes resistance. His first third turnover on Embiid as Gordon Hayward is able to slam for 2.
Out of a timeout, the Jazz seem to be all on the same page, not only executing, but getting the highest percentage shots you can, a dunk all the way to the rim.
Saric just inside the arc. Nice look. Saric for Covington. Sixers slice it to 5, and how does that happen? How does Trey away? Rodriguez against Mack, got it off and in, a tough 2. Rodriguez working it with Okafor. Jahlil banging heads with Favors, and he had his way. His 4th bucket, he's got 9 off the bench.
I like his decision to get the ball from Chacho and gather himself. Have a nice strong base so he can explode to the basket, able to finish over an outstretched Favors.
Sixers need to D it up. Jazz shooting over 51%. Front runners throughout most of this game. Covington, a rather healthy three, and he drops it. You are cautiously optimistic that Robert Covington is back. He's 4 for 4, including 3 for 3 from beyond the arc.
Too low.
Favors got one air watching their son. Gordon, as if on cue.
There he is.
You can't play 4.5 to play here in the third. Here's down 13. And Embiid who can handle. He's got Withy in his sights. He shows and he goes.
No.
And Joe remembering, I could take him then too.
Exactly.
Here's Withy with his eye on the basketball. Here, as Embiid went for the steal, now they create for an Exum 3, and down it goes for Dante Exum. Dario Saric. Robert Covington, the forwards. There is Embiid. Going to the left hand, Joel Embiid. High degree of difficulty because the kid from France, the Stifle Tower, was there, Rudy Gobert.
A little bit of George Mikan with the little step through there. Old school Minneapolis Lakers, no less.
That Neil Johnston from Philadelphia Warrior days gone by.
The jumper's wet, Mark.
Yeah, it is. Rodney Hood.
Talked about him being silky smooth, fluid. Right now, that jumper's wet. Picking up where he left off in MSG yesterday.
3 for 3 is Hood from beyond. The Jazz, a sparkling 7 of 13 from beyond as a team. Saric giving it up. Joel Embiid and rhythm for 2. 14 now for Joel Embiid to lead the Sixers, who trail by 15.
Sees Dario put the ball on the floor, backs out and gives him room in the lane. Defenders collapse on Dario. Joel on the baseline for the easy one.
And badly at that. So his team leading by 17 early in the fourth. Rodriguez took the contact, 17 rebounds in the game. Hood hitting another 3. So Hood, who was the hero yesterday coming down the stretch in New York, now leads the Jazz, and in fact he is high man in the game with 18, and he was slow to get started in this game.
What you like, though, is he lets the game come to him and not forcing anything. Gerald, perfect example of that as well.
Gerald Henderson, it's got 5. Joe Johnson with that 230-pound body, so good at shielding off the defender. Johnson now with 4 off the bench. Henderson deposits 2.
So each and every night, I think that appeals to both.
Well, Hayward, right down Broadway, getting himself a slam off the pick and roll. Gobert provided the pick, so he is in the game.
And again, after a timeout.
Okafor dunking in the face of Gobert, oh, by the way. Okafor, another slam. Gobert. Ingles throw it right to T.J. McConnell. Stauskas denied by Gobert. Wawu Cabarro, and that's what I'm talking about for your first NBA field goal. Congratulations, young fella. Let's beat the Sixers tonight by a final score of 109 to 80.